Hey guys, it's me Nes, and I'm going to do a tier list of all the winners of WWE's Elimination Chamber from 2002 until 2024. So here's the tier list. Fortunately, I cannot edit this out, so I just gotta leave it there. But regardless, we're going to give every WWE Elimination Chamber winner space on how goaded, great, good, I guess, and then the other one is bad, where some are goaded or the all-time best winners down to bad, which is like I guess, but or how people will feel about it. But regardless, we're going to see how you know all these matches is going to go. First off, we're going to start with Shawn Michaels in 2002. At Survivor Series 2002, the first ever Elimination Chamber match took place with the WWE Heavyweight Championship on the line. Triple H entered the chamber as the champion, defending against five competitors: Booker T, RBD, Kane, Chris Jericho, and Shawn Michaels, all of whom had personal grudges or had personal type of conflicts with Triple H and his partner Ric Flair. Triple H would outlast everyone but his former DX stablemate, who dropped him with a switching music for the emphatic and emotional win. The way I would see to it, this is the first ever Elimination Chamber, and I would put it in Golden because this is the all-time, best Elimination Chamber. And I know that there's a lot of great ones, but this one is the all-time best. And knowing that I react to a video which is the first ever WWE Elimination Chamber match by Wrestling Bios, it goes to show that there's a lot of things that went wrong. And the fact that it was the first one and made it look great, that goes to show that it is the top of all time greatest Elimination Chamber matches in history of the WWE. Now, next one is 2003's Triple H. Anything Shawn can do, Paul can do better. And the following year at SummerSlam, he walked into the chamber as champion and walked out of it with title reign intact. The match featured a short wearing champion. This is basically late, if I'm not mistaken, biker shorts because Triple H has a groin injury, and the fact that Triple H competes with injuries is insanely like you never know that this guy gave everything to the company. But anywho, a blonde and short-haired Kevin Nash, of course. Chris Jericho cut his ponytail. An angry Goldberg, a hungry Randy Orton. He was basically part of Evolution at this moment. Shawn Michaels looking for revenge, and an envious Chris Jericho. Triple H managed to survive Goldberg's destruction, who he leveled with a sledgehammer to retain the title during the height of the infamous Reign of Terror. Um, this is one of those things that at the time, during the match, I would say that I would either put it at good. Here's the thing. When Triple H was the champion, people voted Goldberg to win the match. And the thing is that Goldberg was really dominating during the match, eliminated like every single competitor to spears. I think he speared like three people at the same time, three men. So at that moment, okay, they're trying to build him to win a championship, but he lost. What happened is that he won the championship the next month of the pay-per-view, which is Unforgiven, and I was like, okay, so this is a weird take for any person who comes up with the idea for why would you at least give Goldberg the championship not on SummerSlam, which doesn't even make sense. And I put it in good because let's face it, Triple H entered, I think he entered last, and then at the same time, you know, he got switching music by Shawn in the pod. He was there for a few minutes, and at the same time, he used a sledgehammer because with the help with Ric Flair to win the match. So it was good, but I wouldn't say that it wasn't really a bad match. But I kind of felt like Goldberg should needed the win. But anywho, the next one is 2005's Triple H. 2 years later at New Year's Revolution, Triple H walked out of the chamber with the title once again as he defeated Edge, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Batista, and Randy Orton for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship. The title was vacated after Edge and Benoit both defeated Triple H for a title in a triple threat championship match on Raw. So to pick a champ, then Raw GM's Eric Bischoff booked the Chamber match. The match was made even more volatile as Shawn Michaels was added as the special guest referee. This match was thick and fast, with Batista shining brightly. Everything came down to the final chapter when Evolution turned on and destroyed Orton, leaving Triple H victorious in his second Elimination Chamber outing. The thing is this. Um, there was a story that they added here, and this is the time when Batista, he at one point is noticing that Triple H is going to, kick him out from the group because he realized that Triple H was focusing within himself to be world champion. And at that point, it was a great build up. But, you know, during the match, you added Randy Orton to the situation where he didn't say to Batista that Triple H did, come to his aid by the time that he got pinned. And the thing is this, they played out pretty well, but goes to show that they really built out this match to put over Batista in the future. And the thing is this, the match, I didn't watch the whole match, but I think it was alright, it was great. But when it comes to the winners, I would put it at great because it kind of makes sense. If you give it the championship to someone else, it would be like question marks at that point. It's kind of obvious that Triple H should won so that it could have the build up between him and Batista. So knowing that his first win was basically like he's just being the last person and win the whole thing, it's like okay. And that's the thing. That's why I really think that it was the right decision to make the 2005 special, knowing that yeah, he got the victory and then it set up with a feud between him and Batista at WrestleMania 21. So the next one is 2006 John Cena. After another New Year's Revolution and another chamber match, this time fans saw John Cena defeat Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Kane, Carlito, and Chris Masters to retain the WWE Championship. Although victorious in the match, Cena would ultimately lose his title immediately after Edge became the first person in WWE history to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. And the thing is this, you know, the ending of the match was really questionable because basically you got two heels and John Cena where Chris Masters did the master lock on Cena. Carlito was barking and was saying all this stuff that you have to tap Cena like that. And what Carlito did was not smart enough because you basically roll off Chris Masters, who can deal more damage to the master lock to Cena. And then what happens then is that Cena get a surprise roll up so that he can get the victory. What happened afterwards was something, is great because Vince McMahon came out after Cena got the belt and then announces that he will declare another championship match. But this time it's Edge that comes out with the briefcase, first ever cash in, and it's considered to be the greatest, way to end the New Year's Revolution. For me, the winner Cena here, the ending was like, I guess so, but I would put it at good because it was the right choice to make Cena won. But at the same time, the ending was really not that, great. But the thing is that for him to lose to Edge at the same time was special. It declares to the best rivalry between Cena and Edge at that point. The next one, this one is the worst one. 2006 Bobby Lashley. The infamous and disastrous ECW only pay-per-view saw the worst Elimination Chamber outing in WWE history. Only one man, RBT, had any previous ECW credentials, meaning that the match had little interest from fans who wanted the hardcore product of old. As Lashley stood with the title above his head, the live audience chanted for refunds as well as for TNA while the pay-per-view and any hope of ECW being success faded to black. We all know that this is bad. And it's not because oh Bobby, he's a good dude. He's a great wrestler, but the problem is this. It was the worst decision the WWE has made, especially for Vince, because for Paul Heyman, at one point he did say that it's better that it shouldn't be an elimination chamber match. And at the same time, you got six guys who's going to like at least represented the pay per view in a way, but instead it became less of talent to the point that people wanted refunds as it shows refunds and calling out TNA at the time when TNA was really hot at the time. So the fact that Vince made this decision, it's basically like they tried to bury it for good for ECW. And what's worse is that you got two guys that should be ECW champions. So people, or I could say that Paul Heyman wanted RBD or CM Punk. But at the time, RVD was no longer become champion because of what he did during the illegal possession, and we already know how that happened. But for CM Punk, it was crazy because CM Punk has high hopes for CM Punk, but he was still young at this moment when he entered WWE. So of course they were not going to give him the belt. They gave it to Bobby for, maybe they just think that oh we want a person that symbolizes a bit of Goldberg. So I guess if that's the case. But to be honest, like Bobby did a good job as ECW champion. It was really a bad results during the match and after. So yeah, I put it in bad for sure. Um, 2008's Undertaker. At No Way Out in 2008, WWE hosted two Elimination Chamber matches, one for each brand. The SmackDown slash ECW outing featured The Undertaker, Batista, Big Daddy B, MVP, Finlay, and The Great Khali clashing for a World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 24. The match was pretty standard with Taker and Batista as the obvious standout stars. Both men started the match and outlasted the others participants to remain as the final two. The dead man picked up the win with the tombstone to the animal for his first and only win inside the chamber. Um, the thing is for Undertaker. Now this one is going to be great because I like how they started and it ended. Now the competitors, yeah, they weren't considered to be the biggest stars. Like MVP's trying, trying to improve that one day he was going to be the big star, but it didn't come to it. Finlay was there as well. Big Daddy B, of course, the great Khali of all people as well. Like it was alright for those participants, but making Taker as the and Batista the last two, and at the same time Taker won the match. It was great because at that point, this was the number one contender spot for the World Heavyweight Championship. It led to Undertaker versus Edge, which is a great way to add that type of feel that this the only Undertaker's only chamber and he won it for his first time. Or yeah, he won it for the first time, but the next times he competed, he didn't win the matches so far. So next one is Triple H. Again, this is basically his third time. Um, the second elimination chamber of the night saw Triple H victorious over Chris Jericho, Jeff Hardy, JBL, Shawn Michaels, and Omega to gain a WWE Heavyweight Championship match at that year's WrestleMania. The action was fun, frantic, with all performers putting on a good show. Hardy and Triple H made it all the way to the end, but two pedigrees, one on a steel chair, saw the game leave the structure as the winner for the third time. Um, it's kind of a bit odd because at the time, I think that Randy Orton beat Cena. Well, basically, Cena beat Orton via disqualification. He retains the championship. It was really a dumb move for Cena to put his championship on the line in a pay per view that's not even WrestleMania yet. But at the same time, it sets up for a triple threat match between Cena, Orton, and Triple H. And the thing is this. Um, I guess we could say that I wouldn't put I guess, but I think it kind of put it good. The thing is that it was good that they put Triple H won. This was the time when he didn't have a chance to, you know, have his revenge against Orton at that point because, if I'm not mistaken, because he had to took out some guys before regain possession that he's going to face against Orton, because Orton really destroyed a lot of competitors before this matchups. Being the age of Orton, like he won it at No Mercy. I guess you could say that he was a two-time champion, and then it led it up to this match where Triple H won. We thought Orton versus Triple H, but it became Cena, Orton, and Triple H at the same time. So it was alright, but I would say it's good. I wouldn't be so hyped about it, but that's the thing. Like it was alright. Even if Jeff Hardy and Triple H were the final two, we already know that Jeff is not going to survive or going to win the match because we already know that he had his turn at Royal Rumble against Orton. So it is what it is. Next one, 2009 Triple H again. So another elimination chamber and fourth and final victory for Triple H at No Way Out. The game defeated Edge, Jeff Hardy, Undertaker, Big Show, and Larry Casa, which is crazy because Casa was pushed to the moon, but he did went through a lot to win the WWE Championship after champion Edge was pinned early on in the match. Triple H and Taker and Triple H reached the final chapter of the enthralling contest, showing off their fantastic chemistry with a sequence of breathtaking near falls and nail-biting exchanges. Triple H survived his outing with the Dead Man emerging as the winner and eight-time WWE champion. For Triple H, it was really a great final two. Um, the thing is that I would put it to I would say great. The thing is this it kind of makes sense that for Triple H winning the Elimination Chamber, it led up to WrestleMania 25 between Triple H versus Orton. And what's bad about it is this, because the build-up was great, for the storyline, but we all know that it was bad at WrestleMania for their match. The thing is that for him to win kind of makes sense because if Taker wins, he's now WWE champion. So basically, when we got Shawn versus Taker, it should be the WWE Championship match because I feel like it doesn't need to. And despite of all that, Taker and Shawn had the best WrestleMania match of all time at that event. So Triple H won was great. It was the right winner for sure. And yeah, having a good final two between him and Taker was great. The next one though is Edge. So on the same night, Edge entered the chamber for the second time. But this time he made sure he wasn't on the losing end. The Rated R superstar inserted himself into the match, last the expense of Kofi Kingston, who he brutally attacked before locking himself in the chamber. It was a move that would pay dividends as he defeated John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho, Mike Knox, which is crazy. So Vladimir Kozlov and Mike Knox and Kane to become the World Heavyweight Champion. It was surprising that Edge, of all people, had to take out Kofi. And the thing is this, because the final two was Ray and Edge, so it's kind of obvious that Vince kind of wanted to bury Ray at that point. So um, for him, I would say it's good. The thing is this, because the moment that Edge was champion, so he goes to WrestleMania. He's now a Raw superstar. And the thing is this, because when John Cena and then Big Show and then Edge face off at WrestleMania, Cena won. So it's basically a one-off or one month that's Edge won, and then at that point he regained, I think, or if I remember correctly, no, I don't think he regains. I think at that point, or I'm trying to remember if he did regain the championship, but I feel like at that point, it really is jumbled at that point for him during this year, that he win the championship, lose the championship, wins again, lose the championship. It's like that, but I would say it's good for him to win, but it was surprising. And also, it was unexpected though. So Edge, I guess I could. It's the right choice to put it into good. 2010. So this was John Cena. So second win, if I'm not mistaken. So in 2010, the Elimination Chamber became its own show. So this is the first ever pay-per-view of Elimination Chamber and so on and so forth. So who better to win the first chamber match on its premier self-entitled pay-per-view than John Cena? Big match John took on and defeated Triple H, which is they were the final two. Sheamus, Kofi Kingston, Ted DiBiase. Wow. Instead of Cody, it was Ted DiBiase, which is surprising, and Randy Orton, leaving the match as the new WWE Champion. However, his triumph was short-lived when Vince McMahon booked him in a Pronto title match against Batista. The Animal destroyed and exhausted Cena within 30 seconds to win the title. The thing is this, right? Final 2, it was great. Cena winning was, in my opinion, it's kind of bit like great because it kind of leads up to the one-on-one situation between Cena and Batista, which is surprising because we don't know how the hell did that happen. And we all know that Vince was allied with Batista because Cena was allied with Brett. So they have the feud going on for WrestleMania 26. And the thing is for Cena, he survived. He kind of, he did. We already know that there was no one other than the guys that were mentioned here would take the championship at that point. So Cena was the right guy. So it was great. And it lead up to a Pronto match, and then you have the WrestleMania, and then the next feuds between Cena and Batista, which is great. Um, Next one, this one is for Chris Jericho. So the second chamber match of the pay-per-view featured The Undertaker, CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho, John Morrison, and R-Truth for the World Heavyweight Championship. The match came down to Undertaker and Jericho after an excellent outing from all involved. The climactic ending came when Shawn Michaels snuck into the chamber and delivered sweet chin music to the dead man, allowing Y2J to pick up the win and leave with the title. Um, it was surprising that HBK had, they were supposed to plant seeds between him and Taker, one more match, and then at that point, Shawn tried his best to win the Rumble but failed. So at that point, okay, it was scheduled now for Elimination Chamber, and then Shawn interfered and then switching music, Undertaker, so that Chris Jericho would get the victory. The thing is this, for Chris Jericho, I would put him, because it kind of, I would put it, I guess or maybe, because here's the thing, because it leads between him and Edge for the WrestleMania match. Their storyline, yeah, but it didn't, live up to a bit or live up to the hype. So I guess it's the right word for him to win. At the same time, like Shawn Michaels interfered. That's the one thing that I don't get it. And yeah, it kind of makes you wonder if that was considered to be a good match or not. Um, but all I know is that, to be honest, like, yeah, Jericho deserves to win, but it kind of makes you wonder that, yeah, it kind of takes away the credibility between HBK interfering, so that's how it is. Next one is Edge. So the first chamber of 2011 was for the World Heavyweight Champion putting champion Edge against Rey Mysterio, Kane, Drew McIntyre, Big Show, and Wade Barrett. All competitors worked incredibly well, which resulted in an exciting and action-packed encounter that had the fans fully invested from the start. Edge won the match in an emphatic fashion when he speared Mysterio in mid-air to retain the title. Um, so again, another way to bury Reigns, but for Edge to win, I think it was okay. It was the right choice because, among the men, I think Edge was the favorite to win, I guess, at that point. So it was great. He had to face off against Alberto Del Rio at WrestleMania. First, Del Rio lost, and Edge, that was the time, that was his final match before returning to the Royal Rumble 2020. Um, Also, I want to make this clear because I'm not gonna reshuffle this at the end. For Triple H winning at 2003, I would put that here. I guess just to make things clear because yeah, back in 2003 it was Triple H who get the last minutes and then win the whole thing. It's like yeah, it was worst booking at that point. But anywho, let's move on. For John Cena, okay, this is Cena's, if I'm not mistaken, um, third victory because yeah, I think this is his third victory. So here's the thing about Cena. The second chamber match of the show saw John Cena do what he does best and win when he defeated CM Punk, John Morrison, King Sheamus at the time, Randy Orton, and R-Truth for the title opportunity at WrestleMania 27. The match features some great action with Sheamus and John Morrison putting some highly entertaining moments, while the anonymous Raw general manager keep interfering, allowing Punk to re-enter the match after he'd been eliminated by Orton. Cena would triumph and after delivering the attitude adjustment to Pop on the metal floor to the head uh to head to WrestleMania. Well, here's the thing for Cena. Yeah, I think it kind of makes sense for him to win because at that point, who's gonna face against the Miz? And yeah, their main event wasn't that great. Of course, it was disaster, especially at WrestleMania 27, the worst WrestleMania of all time. I would put Cena. Hmm, Winning would be good because it kind of leads up to the match where yeah, it did go nowhere. And then at the same time, like the Miz was the third guy, where Rock and Cena was the main focus, so it kind of discredited everything at that point. So yeah, I would put it in good for Cena's victory at 2011. Um, the next one would be CM Punk. Okay, so reigning champion CM Punk successfully defended the WWE Championship against Dolph Ziggler, Chris Jericho, Kofi Kingston, Archer, and The Miz. Punk was the obvious star entering at number one, along with Kingston at two, and lasting all the way, eliminating Miz at the end with the GTS to win his first and only Elimination Chamber match. For Punk, yeah, it was a great performance. I didn't watch the whole match, but it was really a good. I would put it in great. It was really a great performance for him, being number one and lasted all the way through to the end. And this was the moment where Punk has to build up because he was basically the biggest star during this time. So of course, at that point, it led to him against Chris Jericho, and it was an okay match. But for him to win this match, it was great. It was great for Punk to win. Next one is Daniel Bryan. So on the same night, Daniel Bryan retained his WWE Heavyweight Championship against Big Show, Great Khali, Cody Rhodes, Wade Barrett, and Santino Marella. The match hosted several standout moments, such as Big Show spearing and eliminating Khali before tearing Bryan's pod apart, while the crowd cheered everything Marella did. So here's the thing. Cody was still young at this time. He wasn't really the American Nightmare that we see today. Of course, Wade Barrett was no longer the same guy that we used to know as the Nexus guy. Santino, of course, being Santino. Um, Also, to finish, so Bryant and Marella ended the match with the American Dragon tapping him out via the La Belle Lock submission. So for this victory, I would say it's good. The thing is this, people were high on Santino winning, despite that he was the final two at Elimination Chamber and the Royal Rumble. And the fact that, he didn't win, of course, WWE is trying to tease most of us fans. And the thing is this, I think that for Bryan to win and then lose to Sheamus in 8 seconds, that was really ridiculous, to be honest. But it was a an okay type of match, and Bryan winning was good. It wasn't that too crazy. Um, the next one is Jack Swagger. For some reason, in 2013, WWE chose Jack Swagger to win the Elimination Chamber match for a World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 29, defeating Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, Mark Henry, Kane, and Daniel Bryan in the process. Okay, now I do think people still have that feeling where okay, the "We the People" type of chant where they supported a Jack. But the thing is this: if you know there were some big names like Randy Orton or Chris Jericho, or you could argue maybe Mark Henry or Kane, Daniel Bryan, who will become the guys that can face against Alberto at WrestleMania. Like I would say, I guess, but it wasn't really that too crazy when he won the chamber match. Again, he lost it to Alberto Del Rio at WrestleMania, which doesn't even make sense. So, yeah. Now, 2014, Randy Orton, on his sixth time of trying Randy Orton, was finally successful inside the Elimination Chamber in 2014. The Piper walked in the match as WWE World Heavyweight Championship and left with his title reign intact. Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Cesaro, Christian, and Sheamus made out the rest of the participants in this excellent encounter. The Wyatt family made an appearance breaking into the chamber and attacking Bryan and Cena, which made for further excitement and allowed Orton to take advantage and pick up the victory. So it kind of led to Orton winning would make sense. So I would put it in, great. This was the build up to the point that you have Daniel Bryan basically as the guy that they're trying to build up him as the next face, but of course they're trying to make him lose a lot. But the moment that at WrestleMania, because no one wants to see Batista versus Orton, and they added Daniel Bryan by the time he beat Triple H at that match, the first opening match, and that goes to show that yeah, for Orton to win, it was the right choice. It was great. I don't think there was nobody who's going to deny that it kind of needed him to be part of WrestleMania, despite that he will lose at WrestleMania. The fact that Daniel Bryan beat all three members of Evolution was really special, to be honest. The next one is 2015's The New Day. The first ever tag team elimination chamber took place in 2015 and putting champions The New Day against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, Los Matadores, The Ascension, the Lucha Dragons, and the Frying Time Players. The match was chaos due to the number of people in the chamber at once, but still offered up for entertainment, action, and fun sequences. The New Day retained their titles after Kofi stopped O'Neil with Trouble in Paradise for the win, that was really the brutal part. Um, I would say that this is the first ever tag team, but I would say it would be good. I'm not really that too high of who's winning at that match, but it was really a good concept that they made for tag teams to finally get a chance in the elimination chamber match. So it was alright or good. Next one is Ryback, which is like another first time ever match. The Intercontinental Champion was settled inside the Unforgiven Steel structure. The battle saw Ryback capture the vacant title after outlasting Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, Mark Henry, R-Truth, and King Barrett. The action was messy and confused as botch led to Henry's pod being opened before it was scheduled to and turned plans upside down. Ry- Ryback dragged Sheamus into the shell shock to win his first and only championship in WWE. Um, if I'm not mistaken, because the only time that Daniel Bryan won the IC Championship, and then at that point he had to vacate, if I'm not mistaken, because of the injuries. For Ryback winning, I would say that I think I would put it in. I would say I would put it good. I think because the thing is this because he competed guys against like Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, and Mark Henry Archer and Kim Barra. This is the time when you know they didn't push him as the main event guy, and then at that point they had to give him the IC championship for consideration. But you know he's still over at the time, so of course it was good for him to win of the results. But again, 2015 wasn't really for me to be high on these chamber matches, but that's how it is. Then we will jump to 2017. So there was no 2016 Elimination Chamber. So 2017, Bray Wyatt, right? The stipulation took a break for a year, but came back with a new look and saw Bray Wyatt defeat AJ Styles, John Cena, The Miz, Dean Ambrose, and Baron Corbin to become WWE Champion for the first and only time in his career. The encounter witness some enthralling action and storyline telling. The final chapter in which uh, Wyatt defeated both Styles and Cena to win the title was a emphatic ending to a great match. And I do believe this is the golden situation for Bray Wyatt to win because the final two was him and AJ Styles. They did eliminate Cena after Cena won his 16-time world champion. And the moment that it was Bray against AJ Styles, Bray countered his phenomenal forearm into a Sister Abigail and he won. This was the time when Vince wanted to, give him a chance to run for the title, but it ended up at WrestleMania and it became a bit worse at that point. So, still, for him to win the match, it was golden for me, for sure. And next, 2018. So, Alexa Bliss. In 2018, the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber took place and featured Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Mickie James, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose all fighting for the Raw Women's Championship. Bliss was on a tremendous roll during this period and proved to be a formidable champion after outlasting five other opponents in a grueling and fun affair to retain her title. Her post-match promo, in which she pretended to be caught up in the emotion of the moment before insulting the crowd and the rest of the women's roster, was an excellent ending. Um, I would say that it was okay because she did face against Nia Jax for the championship at WrestleMania. So for her to win, I would say being the first ever winner, I think it is good, especially that promo at the end. I feel like this was the first ever being promo after the elimination chamber match, so I guess it was alright. Um, Next one is Roman Reigns. So the main event to this two chamber match card saw Roman Reigns defeat Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, John Cena, Elias, and The Miz to gain a WWE Universal Championship match at WrestleMania 34. So this against Brock Lesnar. So Strowman tore through everyone in the match as WWE booked him as an unstoppable monster at the time. However, Reigns was the hero, able to withstand all the punishment dished out of him. The big dog leveled the monster among men, and with three Superman punches and two spears to claim the victory and head to the show of shows. Of course, nobody likes Roman winning, and him to lose at WrestleMania at that point when people boo. I would say that I guess there were a lot of good names, but it's kind of been obvious that WWE is so predictable at this point. So I guess for him to win, yeah. But that's how it is. Um, Next one, 2019, the Boss and Hug Connection. So Bayley and Sasha Banks. The first ever women's tag team match inside the chamber saw Sasha Banks and Bayley crowned new and inaugural champions, beating Carmella and Naomi, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Nia Jax and Tamina, the Iconics, and the Riot Squad. With emotions each on their faces, Banks and Bayley stood proudly with the title they championed for years in the procession. Oh man, they only had the champion after a month. At WrestleMania, they dropped it to the Iconics. So it was the right. I would say that I'll put it in great because it was a great decision to put two of the best women or the horsewomen of the division to finally crown champions as tag teams, but it kind of damaged them by the time they get to WrestleMania. So I would say yeah, yeah, it was great. Next one is 2019's Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan was in the midst of one of his greatest run as a Planet Champion and made sure he carried the title in and out of Elimination Chamber despite strong competition. Bryan was sorry, Bryan was able to outlast the AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, and Kofi Kingston in an awesome battle which stands out as one of the best chamber outings in WWE history. The action was fought at a great pace, allowing the already invested crowd to eat up every single move and moment. The groundswell of Kofi Mania was in full effect, which made his defeat even more painful but proved Bryan as a powerful and effective champion. So it was great that the fans were behind of Kofi, and for him to win, Daniel Bryan with him was great as well, because it sets out the feud between Kofi and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. And what's crazy is this because Mustafa Ali got hurt, so it's one of those butterfly effects. If Mustafa Ali wasn't hurt, that means Kofi doesn't get his champion or doesn't get the chance at the Elimination Chamber at that point, because at that point, WWE want to see Kofi winning a championship, especially for the WWE Championship, and they delivered that at WrestleMania. So it was really nice. They made the right decision to let Daniel Bryan still be champion, so it was great. Um, okay, so the next one we have 2020 Miz and John Morrison. The second men's tag team match to be settled inside the chamber happened in 2019 and saw the Miz and John Morrison defeated the New Day, the Usos, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, and Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode to retain their tag titles. The teams performed brilliantly and gave the best tag team champion a tag team chamber match to date. Um, there were fun spots and great sequences and crowd control chaos every step of the way. I did not even watch the match, and who knows, maybe it could be the best one of terms of tag team. So I would put it to good. I think I wasn't really hyped on who's the winners on tag teams, but I guess this was the right decision if that's the direction that they go. The next one is Shayna Baszler. The time when Shayna Baszler was booked as an unstoppable monster or absolute monster was a shocking and controversial decision, which is true. The Queen of Spades tore through and laid waste to each and everyone in the match and become the first winner to single-handedly eliminate all other opponents. I would say this, right? People would put it to great, put it to good, but it's like I almost put here just in case because of the booking decision. But I really think it's good that they got the right results or right rhythm or the right winner. Because one thing I don't like the booking is that you completely destroyed a lot of opponents and then wait for the person to come out. It took so much time, and I can guarantee you it wasn't even fair. So her for win, yes, but it kind of screwed up for her not to win at WrestleMania, which is a shame. So you know, I was just going to put it in the good for Shayna, but it was really a missed opportunity to book it well and at the same time make her win at WrestleMania. But I don't know why Vince made the decision. So 2021 Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan defeated Cesaro, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, King Corbin, and Sami Zayn to earn an immediate WWE Universal Championship opportunity against Roman Reigns. Bryan battled expertly throughout the match, with him and Cesaro having some beautiful exchanges early on. The American Dragon weathered the ensued storm from the rest of the competitors to claim victory. However, an exhausted and beaten Bryan was picked apart by Reigns and forced to pass out to a guaranteed choke. This one, it was a good choice for him to win, but I really am disappointed because yeah, they kind of made the match immediately. This is the time when Edge had to, I don't know if he gave up the spot or something, or maybe he, yeah, at that point he lose the spot so that they have this elimination chamber match to whoever face against Roman. And when they got the guy, Roman comes out and chokes him out, and then what, wins the match, I guess, which doesn't even make sense. It's basically a Pronto situation, but I guess if that's how it is. Next one is Drew McIntyre. The second Elimination Chamber take place in the Thunderdome saw Drew McIntyre retain the WWE Champion against AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton, and Sheamus. McIntyre dominance was evident throughout, and he had some brutal exchanges with Sheamus. The Big Scott reigned supreme and won the match with his title run intact. However, Money in the Bank briefcase holder and The Miz took advantage of a tired and battle-worn McIntyre to cash in and win the championship, WWE Championship, for a second time. So the thing is, Drew winning, I guess it was the right choice. So I put it in, you know, good. And this is the one thing I was confused because at the time, not only you made him win, he had to be beaten up by Bobby Lashley, and then The Miz comes out and now became a two-time champion. Next week, The Miz loses his championship against Bobby Lashley, and it has nothing to do with it after since. And then you got this Drew versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, which doesn't even make sense of the booking. So it kind of odds, but making him win makes sense. He was already the biggest star at that point, so it's good that WWE gave him the opportunity to win, but at the same time losing to The Miz at the same time, like what the hell. So the next one is Bianca Belair. Ever since losing her SmackDown Women's Champion to Becky Lynch at SummerSlam, Bianca Belair was on a mission to regain championship gold. This saw her step into the Elimination Chamber for the very first time, knowing that a Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 38 lay in the future of the winner. Belair was not going to be denied. Belair entered last, eliminating Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss to score a memorable win. This is, if I'm not mistaken, in the Saudi show, right? The first um, Elimination Chamber in Saudi. So her win, and then she had to face against who was her opponent? Is it Asuka? Like I don't remember who was her opponent at WrestleMania, but I think we could argue that I would put it in good. She's a, for her, she's a good winner. That at that point she had to battle all the women to. Oh no, it's Becky Lynch. Is it really Becky Lynch? WrestleMania 38. Yeah, I think she faced against Becky Lynch. I don't even know if it was, but regardless, yeah. And the fact that eliminated Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss to score that's really is interesting. And knowing that she kind of entered last, but so it's still right for her to put it good. Um, Next one is Brock Lesnar. So in the men's equivalent, Bobby Lashley put his WWE title on the line against Brock Lesnar. Uh, Brock Lesnar against Theory, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, and Matt Riddle. However, it quickly became clear that we were getting a new champion after Lashley was removed from the match after Rollins hit a buckle bump on Theory. So smashing through the pod, this led to the Almighty being taken out of the match due to concussion protocol. Lashley was supposed to be the fifth entrant, but with him out of the running, Lesnar smashed through the pod to enter the match early. The Beast then proceeded to destroy everyone inside, delivering a frightening F5 to Theory from the top of the pod. Lesnar pinned Theory to win the WWE title for the seventh time. So I guess, and it led up between um him and Roman for the winner takes all, I guess. But all I can say for this one, it was all right, or it was good, because it's kind of been obvious that people already knew by the time when Brock came out, he's gonna win for sure. There's no way he's gonna lose. Um, Next one is Asuka. So 2023. Asuka secured her place at WrestleMania 39 with the victory in the Women's Elimination Chamber match in Montreal, Canada, but also sealed her place in the history books by setting an impressive record, thanks to an impressive victory after outlasting Carmella, Liv Morgan, Natalia, Nikki Cross, and Raquel Rodriguez. Not only that she is the Empress of Tomorrow, secure her spot at the Show of Shows, but also set a remarkable new record in becoming the first female in WWE history to win the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and Elimination Chamber matches, which is impressive. So for Asuka winning, this is WrestleMania 39, right? And she faces against Bianca Belair, but she had to lose, which doesn't even make sense. I get it that Bianca is basically like female John Cena, but you know, it kind of makes you wonder that because of her losing to Charlotte at 34 and the streak, and at that point, she wasn't really herself at that point based on the booking decision. So I would say for her to win is good as well. I got no problem with it for her to win, and then yeah, it's kind of shame that she had to lose at WrestleMania, but that's how it is. 2023 Austin Theory, the same year, so Austin Theory successfully retained the United States Championship at Elimination Chamber. Theory defeated Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, Montez Ford, and Seth Rollins to make history, as it was the first time the title was defended inside the steel structure. Um, Here's the thing. It was confusing. So basically, he lost his Money in the Bank to Seth and wins his United States Champion at that point in return. I would say that I would say it's good as well. I guess you could argue that we don't know where to place or who deserves more, but I guess it's good for him. For now, it was good because at that moment they're trying to build a new star, but it didn't work out yet. So hopefully that he has a lot of time. So hopefully he does it pretty well. The next one is 2024. So finally we get to the last type of winners of Elimination Chamber. So Becky Lynch in Perth, Australia. Becky Lynch went belt to belt to in the Women's Elimination Chamber match, overcoming Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Bianca Belair to earn each Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania 40. Lynch started out with the match uh, with Naomi before Stratton entered third, Morgan fourth, Rodriguez fifth, and Blair last at six, which is surprising again. But Morgan got the most eliminations overall, taking out both Stratton and Belair for the contest before she was ultimately pinned by Lynch, which secured the victory. The match marked Lynch's first time competing inside the Elimination Chamber. So for her to win and face off against Rhea, or no, because yeah, for her to win the face off against Rhea, but Rhea retains, I would say that I would say it's good. They're trying to build up them as well, but at that point, it was good for Becky to win the match, especially. You know, uh, Last one is 2024's Drew McIntyre. So in the semi-main event of the WWE Elimination Chamber per Drew McIntyre punched his ticket to WrestleMania 40 by winning the Men's Elimination Chamber match. The Big Scott outlasted United States Champion Logan Paul, Randy Orton, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, and Kevin Owens to secure a main event spot on the grandest stage of them all. McIntyre's victory came with some unexpected help from Paul, who used brass knucks to knock out Orton with a punch. allowing McIntyre to pin the Viper. So um, all I can say for him to win, and then he had to face against Seth. It was really his best year. So I would put Drew into great because it was his best year, and he's still, starting off being in this internet troll. So it was great that Drew got what he deserves. Match to face on WrestleMania, wins the World Championship, regardless that he had to drop it immediately. But that's how it is, and knowing that he deserves that he got that moment at WrestleMania by the crowd saying that finally he's already a champion and once again, and be celebrated in front of the crowd. So yeah, and that's all for my tier list, guys, for the WWE's Elimination Chamber winners from 2002 till 2024. All I can say is that this is basically my opinion on who deserves better, and all I can say that it's great, but especially like at that point, you know, hoping we can see the Elimination Chamber into something special this year, knowing that it's right around the corner. So hopefully that we get to enjoy everything about Elimination Chamber before WrestleMania. So all I can say is that give a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications for future upload of videos. And all I can say is that thank you for watching. We will see each other in the next video. Peace.